You are starting the lesson on breath work and the importance of breathing, which we're alive, so we know we have to breathe to maintain our bodies, to maintain our life. And when you breathe in, you are breathing in the essence of life, air that provides the guiding strength, the nurturance, the nutrition even for your cells to live, to provide, to give your body wholeness and life. And so I want to encourage you as you take your breaths to start out with a basic 4-4-4 breath work pattern. So that's inhaling through your nose for 4, exhaling through your mouth for 4, and then holding your breath for 4. And the reason we do that, we focus on the exhale, is because it pushes the diaphragm down so that it actually presses against the vagus nerve, which is in your central nervous system. And that vagus nerve activates what we call the parasympathetic nervous system, which means this part of your nervous system that creates calm and creates relaxation. So when we do that, we are setting ourselves into a space physically where we can begin to enter into a realm that is calm and peaceful and getting our bodies into that state. It is perfect for use when you're under stress, if you've had a conflict with someone, if you're in a conflict with someone and you can are not too escalated where you can remind yourself quickly, take a breath and exhale long. Just take a breath and exhale long. Those things really work. They really do. Now, trauma-sensitive breath work caveat here. People who may have experienced trauma related to a lack of breathing or suffocation or anything along those lines may be triggered by breath work. So if you have a client or you yourself are triggered by breath work, please do not and keep encouraging them to engage in that kind of breath work. You can try different styles and see if one of those different styles might work best for them, but it's completely up to them. And also, use some different techniques. So what by that I mean, encourage a mindful, moving exercise, which we'll get into in later lessons. Encourage some kind of body movement beforehand to let go of some of that anxiety and those hormones of stress and fear and anxiety that are in the body to change the hormonal reactions that your body is giving off. So 4-4-4, inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4, holding for 4. Inhale, exhale, hold. This time when you inhale, try to feel the air coming in through your nostrils. I could go on like that for a very long time. When I first started breath work, I didn't believe in its power. And I started using it as a coping tool in a very violent, hostile environment where I was working in the inner city. And then also with troubled children that were violent. And I would use it to make myself regulated, to keep myself from escalating and, being incredibly fearful, and thus doing things like raising my voice or, getting upset, things like that. And in doing it myself, one day I said to my classroom of art students in elementary school, I said, everybody, why don't you take a breath with me? And we did. And we did just that. And then we took another breath and another one. And it took maybe 20 seconds. But the entire shift of energy in the room changes. Everything shifted. And it shifted from this tenseness, this, chaotic energy into this energy of, oh, okay, yeah, I feel better. I can handle this, not just for myself, but for my kids. Because in those instances, those kids were scared. They were anxious. They didn't like what was going on when someone was throwing a fit and throwing chairs and tearing down a classroom. They were afraid. And through that breath work, of course, making sure they're safe, but through that breath work, they were able to come back down into their body, find a place of peace and center. Okay. That got me sold on it. I use that breath work with every class of children. I started using it with all of my private practice adults, and then started using it in all of my workshops. I already had started using that in my intuitive art making as an artist. And so that's how I got started in breath work. I went on to study primordial breathwork practices at the Chopra Center, and also pranayama there, as well as, of course, pranayama practices throughout all of my yoga training, which I, have a variety of different certifications in yoga. I encourage you to look at some of the different yoga, or not just yoga pranayama practices, but to look at some of the different breathwork practices that we have, some of the scripts, the videos. I believe there's an audio in there too that takes you through. Try them until you find one you like, as long as it's not triggering for you. Okay? Enjoy.